You now know that title deeds in Kenya are being converted from the old registers to the new registers. Now, the question that you might still have is, why is this whole process necessary? My name is Patrick Onyango, partner at Alium Law, and these are the three key reasons why a new land law was passed and the title deeds are now being converted to a new register. One, the old land laws were fragmented. And when we say the old land laws are fragmented, we mean that there were multiple laws operating at the same time regarding land in Kenya. So this was because of historical reasons. We initially didn't have the notion of individual land ownership in Kenya. So this was a notion that was introduced by British colonialists, but the nature of the colonial project was discriminatory. So they couldn't have one law to govern the whole country and all the inhabitants within the country. So they came up with many different laws that apply to the different groups of people and different places within the country. Now, after independence, there were efforts to consolidate these laws. However, these efforts were unsuccessful. But in 2010, when we passed the constitution, the new constitution mandated Parliament to consolidate the land laws. And in 2012, they passed the Land Registration Act, the Land Act, and the National Land Commission Act. And these together replaced the old land laws and consolidated them into a single system for land law within the entire country. Number two is that the old land laws were outdated. Many developments have come since the land laws were passed, one of which is the digital revolution. So we've now become accustomed to receiving services online, and the advantage of this is that services are much more accessible to us as citizens, and also for the government, delivering services to us becomes more efficient when you use these online services. So for example, in Rwanda, they have a promise of a one-step, one-day process of transfer of land. So imagine that in one day, you'd have transferred your land and gotten your title deed. So Kenya needed to move towards this digital service delivery. And it was not just for the efficiency or for the accessibility for citizens, but also to remain globally competitive. Number three, the old land laws lacked transparency. So it was not possible to easily check a log of transactions within a file. What this means is that you could not check who had recently worked on a file within the registry. So what this led to was a situation where files could go missing or were not able to be traced for long periods of time. And in the worst case scenario, new title deeds or duplicate title deeds would be processed on behalf of land grabbers. So this was not an ideal situation. But a new digital registry, what that does is it enables a log of entries within the system, and you're able to now trace who recently worked on a file. So what this means is that the officials within the land registry would be held accountable for any fraudulent entries, should there be one. So those are the three key reasons why a new land law was necessary and why the title deeds are now being converted. It was the fragmentation of the old land laws. It was the old land laws being outdated, and also the lack of transparency within the old land laws. So, once again, if you need any assistance or you have any questions about title deed conversion, please feel free to reach out to us. You can either email or reach us on phone, and we'll be happy to answer your questions.